Right then, so between doing these coats of paint, I need to fit a hanging rail. Just a metal pole that kind of goes, I'll show you the brackets. On these brackets screwed to the walls either side with the pole cut down to fit the space. Obviously it's too big at the minute. I want to get it quite high to the shelf. I want it as close to the shelf as possible while still being able to get a coat hanger up there, obviously. It is just for coats and stuff like that, and the ladies for whatever clothes you want in a bedroom. Obviously it needs to be level, needs to be centered for front to back, and needs to be cut to size. The reason I'm doing it between coats of paint rather than at the end is if I do somehow manage to catch something or scuff something up, then I can put that right while I'm doing the rest of the coats of paint on the doors. You see what I mean? It's the same paint from cupboard to doors. So that's the logic behind doing it now. Plus I've got some meat to do while I'm waiting for paint to dry, because the paint's drying still at the minute. So I'm just going to put you on pause and I'll show you how to cut a pole down. Right then, so the first thing I need is a measurement. So I need to measure from panel to wall. We'll try and do it from this side. So I know I'm going to be about that height, and roughly in the middle. And there you go. Now what you might notice is I'm not going like that. I'm using the tape measure itself. This is a good trick for you if you're trying to measure from inside measurements. It's very difficult. So if you do that and then lock the tape measure, so then I know the measurement from here to the tape measure, and I know the width of my tape measure is exactly 7 centimeters. So whatever this measurement is plus 7 centimeters gives me an accurate inside measurement. Because otherwise, let me show you what I mean. Try and do it from this side so you can see. Let's make sure you can actually see what I'm talking about. Yeah, you can. Damn, I did not want to hit that door. Otherwise, you're kind of trying to do it at a bent angle like that, and you can never quite get an exact millimeter perfect measurement like that. Whereas doing it with the tape measure, I can get a millimeter perfect measurement. So inside measurement, always use the depth of the tape measure. And that's why the tape measures are designed that way. They are designed for that purpose. Like, you see how it's got that flared out bit at the back? That is so that you can touch that to surfaces and get that exact measurement. And from here, from that widest point to widest point is exactly 7 centimeters. And most tape measures are designed that way for that exact reason. But not a lot of people know that, in the words of the great Michael Caine. Right, I'm just going to put you on pause again while I actually get the measurement. Right then, so we have a measurement. You can see there, it might be a bit blurry, but it's exactly 73 centimeters. Plus, and it is literally to the millimeter, exactly 73, plus the 7 centimeters of the tape measure gives me 80 centimeters. So I know wall to wall is 80 centimeters. And there is my pole. Zoom you in a bit actually. There you go, look at that. And this pole, I think, is 100 if I remember rightly, maybe 80, I forget now. Oh, totally wrong, 91 and a half randomly. So I need to cut it down to 80. Oh, I'm kind of walking around with a screw in my mouth, and I'll tell you why I've got a screw in my mouth shortly. That'll be part of the fitting. Right, so I just need to put a little pencil mark on the pole at 80. There you go, it doesn't have to be, I know I'm showing you how to measure millimeter accurately on an inside measurement, but that's actually not important for this, and I'll show you why. Because actually I don't want it to be 80. Because these, let's see if I can get a bit of a close-up for you. These are the brackets it fits onto, and these have a 1 centimeter bit of play. So the pole, you don't really want the pole all the way, I'm missing the camera, all the way up to the wall touching them. We want it sort of just inside. You see what I mean? So we'll probably go, rather than 80, we'll go 79, and that gives us half a centimetre play either side. So we know 80 is the maximum, but we want it a little bit less. So the very difficult technique of cutting it is done with this contraption, which is known as a saw. You may have heard of it. This is a hacksaw, so it's just designed for cutting metal. So quite easy, just a bit of elbow grease, a bit of work. So I always put my thumb there to guide, so you can see how it's resting against my thumb. Which means the saw doesn't slip that way and scratch the actual metal of the pole while you're doing it, which is quite common. You only slip that way, so if you see what I mean, like, oh, you probably can't see, but anyway, you get the idea. So just saw away. I'll probably speed this bit up now. All right then, so next stage, we fit the first brackets. We're going to fit on the wooden side because it's a bit easier. So pretty straightforward really. We measure the width from front to the edge of the saddles at 48, so we need to do it at 24. Got a little pencil mark. Like I said, I want it quite high, so we know 24 is the middle. The pencil mark is there. Really simple. I always do it with 2 screw holes at the top, 1 at the bottom, because obviously the weight goes down like that. Stick it centre of the 24. Put your little pencil marks in there, 1 for each hole. And then I'll show you what this screw in my mouth is for. I'm talking through a screw the whole video. This is the packet of screws they send with the brackets for it. Now, one thing you learn doing what I do is manufacturer screws. Anything you buy like that, the screws are always just awful. Like the cross sections will round off within a second of trying to screw it in. You won't be able to screw this straight into that wood without the cross section rounding off or the screw snapping or something going horribly wrong. So what I do as a cheat is I use that one that was in my mouth and I drill that in to make the 3 holes first using a good quality proper screw that I know will be able to handle it. And then we screw the manufacturer screws into the holes that I've already made. So you're not making a right mess of the screw. Like if you round that screw head off, if you make that cross section round, you ain't getting it out again without a set of grips and trying to, it's right fast, it's a pain in the bum. So you're better off just use a decent screw first. You don't have to go all the way in, you just need to do like halfway in. Just so you're giving less work for the rubbish screw to do and less risk of it rounding the head off and snapping and whatnot. And by the way, that's the same for anything you buy. Curtains, curtain rails, blinds, I don't know, I can't think of anything else off the top of my head, but anything that you buy that comes with a manufacturer's screw, if you can get rid of it and put a decent screw in, you'll save yourself a massive headache. The only reason I'm using these screws for this is because they match in colour. These are nice silver screws that match the colour of the actual brackets, and I've only got gold ones like the one you saw me drilling with. Plus they're the right depth as well, the right length. So now it should be as simple as just screwing it into the existing holes that I've just made. He says something's probably going to go wrong. It's probably going to round off regardless of it. Beautiful. Tricks of the trade for you. I'm going to show you this screw in a second because that just nearly rounded off even just doing that little bit. Let's see if I can show you this screw so you can see what I'm talking about with it rounding off. Right, so you see that screw there, nice cross shape, and that one you can see the cross shape has just started to go round, where the quality of the metal on the screw is so bad that the the electric screwdriver I'm using just shaves off the cross section, so you end up with a round hole. So that's why we do that. If I hadn't have done what I did with the wood, the good quality wood screw, that would have been rounded off about halfway in and would have been screwed. Anyway, right, so that's that bit. Right then, so next we need to get obviously the next bracket in place and the pole in place. So we have obviously cut the pole shorter than what we needed. And the reason we do that is so I can slot it in like that. Actually, I'm going to put the other bracket in first, would be a good idea. So put the other bracket on first and then slot it in If you do it the full length, then you have to try and fit both brackets at exactly the same time, which doesn't really work so good, you know what I mean? So then we need to get the measurement at 24 from the back wall, don't we, to get it in the right position. Use my head. Always use your head, apparently. So we are there at 24. And then we use, well, you can't just use a standard spirit level, or I always use my laser level. This is my basic laser level, but it'll do the job, just to see where we're at with it. I'll try and get it right. So we are a bit too high on the left. There you go. So that is perfect. You can see, I don't know if you can see, my head's in the way, but I can't really move. But the bottom edge of the laser level is just touching the bottom of the pole there. So that is looking good. And this is why you always have a pencil behind your ear, because you're rummaging around in your pockets and stuff to try and find it. So now we just mark off the holes. Easy peasy. And take it off. There you go. So now we have three pencil marks on the wall there, which this is a plasterboard wall. So this is going to need wall plugs, whereas that side was a wooden panel, so it didn't need any wall plugs. So this side's going to involve a little bit of drilling and fitting of wall plugs. So I'm just going to go and get some of them and get my drill while I'm at it. So we're back in a minute. All right then, so I now have, I'll show you, my standard combi drill. I'll just scratch the door, never mind, I'll have to do it so. Standard combi drill and standard standard 6mm wall plugs. Don't need to be anything special with these ones, are reasonably good anyway. And then we just drill 3 6mm holes, put the plugs in, and screw the bracket in. The only thing that I do slightly differently is I do use a hoover while I'm drilling to catch all the dust. Mainly because I do it anyway, but these doors have been painted, so they're a little bit tacky, so we don't want dust getting everywhere and getting on the skirting boards below and going down the wall, and so we just keep it clean with the hoover. So I'm going to drill now. There you go, it really is that easy. 3 holes done. Right then, so next bit, pretty simple. Put the plugs in. Just slot them in the holes. Easy peasy, cheesy squeezy. Don't need to worry about the lack of quality on the screws for putting them on this bit, because while they're going into a wall plug, it goes in a lot easier. Right. So remember to put the bracket in first, slot it on, grab your screwdriver or impact driver in this case, line her up, tighten up the screws, put the screws in. Not difficult at all. Easy peasy, cheesy squeezy. There you go. So that is a hanging reel ready for hanging. It took me, what, 10 minutes? Easy job.